back everyone to see Skylines 2. I really don't have a good name, so if there's any suggestions, please put them in the comments for me. But anyways, I don't have much of a plan of what to do here. You know, obviously this is modded, otherwise I'd be over here. But now we're over here, so that's what we're gonna deal with. My housing is kind of basic, as you can tell. Commercial, there's barely any. Got a bunch of factories over here. Not the biggest fan of it, considering that the wind blows in this direction, but currently there is no air pollution, so that's great. Our farming industry, we've got grain, vegetables, and livestock going on, which increases our employees. Let's see here. I've been making windmills to help with energy, so we're obviously making a profit here, which is fantastic. Water and sewage, we just import and export. You know, we don't need to do anything, and I definitely recommend this. The only issue is you need to be able to make a pipe to the edge of the map, but it definitely saves a lot more money. And you know, in the beginning, windmills do really great. You know, they're cheap, they provide the energy, it's clean, there's no issues, and excuse me, there's really not too many employees. You know, there's no wages, so it's a lot less money versus anything else you gotta pay for. Something that's not really explained is that when you look at this and it says 8,022 and stuff, that's just the upkeep. That's not employee cost, and it's, from what I can tell, about double of what the cost that it says it is. So you're expecting 3 times more. Healthcare, garbage, pretty much everything we've got lowered. I really don't need that much fire safety because it's not too bad, so I'll put it there, save some money. I'll keep the police administration the same because I really don't feel like having any crime. I don't really know if there is crime. Let's check. So there's a 75% chance of success, which sucks. There's 4 per month, and there's currently 2 criminals. Very little compared to, you know, the whole area, but obviously I would like to not have any crime. Usually crime happens because people can't make the money, you know, so that really sucks. Let's see here. This is a little bit funky here. Obviously, I don't want to be too much on the edge. I want to build more inwards, and I don't really have a good intersection here. Kind of crappy. Losing people. Let's see if we don't have the money to expand this way. We do not. We'll just have to deal with that. There's a very high demand for residential. Of course, there's people who want to come in. You know, obviously, I don't want a sucky place for that. I'm trying to think, because I don't want to expand this to make it too much rows, but at the same time, that's usually what works is grids. And traffic has not been that awful. That's the problem. Don't get confused by this. Traffic flow is how fast everything, you know, how smoothly it goes versus volume. So even though the traffic flow over here is awful, you know, there's pretty much no volume, so there's no issue. All the volume is, for the most part, here, as you can tell, and that's because that's coming in and out of the city. Traffic flow, kind of bad here, probably because all the commercials blown up, but when you have a outside connection like this, it also does not help too much. It's actually really bad. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to add a small road just for this. So there's no in and out for that, so everything should be coming through the highway properly, like it should be, but obviously we don't have a great connection here. So let's look at our productions. So we have a big surplus of vegetables, grain, and livestock. So we're going to be exporting a lot, but we are importing as well. Let's see our statistics. Yeah, we got a lot of rock coming in. And let's check the employment rate. So there's more workplaces than there is people, it seems. Well, unless you're highly educated. but we don't have offices and such, so that's kind of a stopping point for that. What we need to do is we need to add more housing. Now, everyone's saying medium, low density, you know, obviously little apartments do really nice, so let's make a complex going on here. So what I want to do is I want to make just a straight line here. I'm going to straighten it out. 30 units should be fine. Let's do a roundabout at the end here. Do I have any roundabouts? I do. Let's see. Large roundabout. Very large roundabout. We'll probably just stick with the large. Let's get a alleyway. We're gonna do it just a little bit away from here. Do there. And one more here. I'm going to add apartments in this area. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of households in just this one area. Kind of a downer. And because there's going to be a lot of cars here, I think it'd be best, in interest of happiness, to have a parking lot. So a modest parking lot right here should be fine. Reduce the parking fee so people actually want to park here. Bring in a little money. It's mostly just to keep them comfortable. And now we're going to put a few row houses here. Should be fine there. Not necessarily looking to maximize the space, you know, so that there's obviously gaps here. And there's a lot of people living this parking lot. Did not expect that. Although it is closer to the interstate here, the highway, so obviously traffic's going to be kind of meh, considering the fact that we have a lot of people here. Getting great districts yet. Neutral. Walking distance to elementary. Can't really do nothing about that. Taxes. Everybody loves the taxes, right? They usually start you off at 10, but I keep it at the 6 for residential just because most of my taxes come from industrial. Now that we're getting more people, to fix our production import for all these rocks that we keep getting, I'm going to make a small rock mining facility, stone mining. Keep it near the factories. Well, we went up a level. Let's see. Probably all the way over here. Keep it on the edge here. There, there. It's not like we need a lot, you know. But we obviously need some rocks coming in because it's easier to keep things in-house. 13 employees. Air, ground, and noise, kind of meh. This doesn't really have any of that. But the wind should avoid the residential here. And we have districts. We got roads going on here. Probably gonna make it more of a curve just to reduce that. So let's go from here. Probably near the end. No. We can go towards this end. Cut this off. Because obviously if we do it right there, people are trying to go left, and left turns are harder, you know, and everybody, they don't really go down this road. They're mostly going to the right here. People who have to go on the left. That's a lot of taxis, what that is. Should be up here to prevent this. Now let's make this a little better. Don't want buses, don't want taxis. Would love some parks. Small playground for this area would be awesome. Kind of seems weird near the parking at the same time though. Nice place to put it. Small park would do better. Try to keep our little area here happy. I'm just gonna create this into a district, just so we can get the statistics. Almost 600 residents in this small area. Okay, that is a bit compacted. Looks like traffic cleared itself since everybody finally moved in. Which is another thing we should keep in mind, that when you build a lot of houses and the traffic stops up because of that, it's gonna happen. Because people are just moving in from out of town. Not processing fast enough, but that's typical. There's a landfill. It's really hard to have the average health up. Lots of people are dying. Education. So let's keep an eye on that. There's currently 17 people available. There is a capacity of 400. There's 800 for elementary, but there's 513 available. We keep our schools over here. There are all these low residentials. Wow, the dropout rate is way too much. This is the high school.
There's a baby in the corner. There's sunbathing.
Local authorities are urging the public to
Well-being would be
conserve water
nice.
and reduce the burden on the city during
I'm
this
going
water
to do
shortage.
some
Consider
going
installing a low-flush toilet. Cut
Lower
back on
taxes
watering the
if
lawn
educated,
and shower with a
specifically.
friend whenever possible. This is
Maybe
what
that will
local
inspire some
public
people to get educated.
This is Second Moon Radio Classical for the modern age. Unlike most modern
budgeting.
music, classical has always been penned by someone
Services,
sitting in
education.
front of a sheet of blank paper.
The money's kind of
Using
being
only
made up, so
their imagination.
we'll do that. Let's check our budget.
Through a silent audio.
We're still making income, so we should be fine.
Listening at full volume, and our souls
Try to
are.
increase the amount of people that get educated.
But let us not tarry.
And we're not gonna rush it, because what happens is if we rush it, people just keep coming
Interesting
in
news from the
uneducated,
city's
and we have a
export
very
division.
low education
Sources
system.
tell us that
And
our
then everybody's
city
trying to get
has
into
more
schools, and the
services
schools
than
aren't
we know
enough.
what to do with.
And we want to make
And you
sure
know what
everyone
that
is
means.
getting,
It means we're not
you know,
holding
educated.
things close enough.
Well,
you know,
no.
because the more people are educated, the more the factories level up and such, because people are overeducated. It's still a thing
Well,
in these
we
games.
could
City
say
Skylines
we're
1 was a lot more
enjoying
particular
positive
about it.
trade balance, and the economy is booming.
This
More after this.
I'm going to increase the
A
parking
housing
fee
shortage is
because
driving up prices in the
demand.
area.
That's right, Glenda. But apparently, that's not all good news. We're joined today by an expert guest, Professor Nutflutter.
Welcome, Professor.
Everyone's pretty content.
So a housing shortage is bad for the people trying
It's
to
actually
move,
really good over here.
Humans are programmed
Content's not
to
bad.
desire certain
Walking distance to
representations
elementary,
in
people want to
ideological
get closer to the elementaries, of course.
which are entirely apart
Maybe
from
moving it
actual
here would help,
rewards in
but I don't
employment.
want to increase
For
traffic too much. Not to mention the
example,
factories
consider
here.
capital.
Red, one final
Definitely
question,
made
Professor. Is
a
the
factory
housing
zone.
shortage going to make me richer?
I
Away
certain
from the
metrics
winds. So
perhaps
if we check the
yes in
wind,
the
'cause that's
short
usually
run.
what
I
does
like
it.
the sound of
But
that.
while we are discussing the
Over
study
here,
of
so I wanna keep
statistical
everything over in this area.
abstraction and its effect on the human
Thank you, Professor.
Let me turn off that radio. 'Cause this is stupid, to say the least. That is a lot of power lines. Where is that going? Oh. I don't need these power lines. there. And we get this nice little land that we'll use later on. Now we got offices, which are for educated people for the most part. Now, I don't want to really put them towards the low residential. It's kind of weird. You would expect them to be closer to, well, this. And a corner office here would be nice. Well, there's a double. We'll keep it that way. We'll see what they actually produce in material goods. Now, it seems we need more commercial, and we did unlock low rent housing, which is a
We interrupt
very
this
large
program to
building.
bring you a special news bulletin. The Fire and Rescue Service reports that fire...
There's fire somewhere very far, probably. I don't see it. Ah, it's over here. It don't even matter. Let's see here. Can't unlock intersections yet. I'm not going to do the welfare because we don't need that. Cycling, crematory, hospital, water treatment. We'd like to make more energy later on. That's clean. So right now, we'll just unlock the large roads, and we'll get the intersections later, because those do help. Unless you're really good at making your own. By all means.
I actually gotta make some money tomorrow. What?
Let's check our profits. Services, education, it's not full, it's not going to pay itself. This doesn't really pay itself to begin with. That actually needs a hospital to pay for itself. If you get a hospital, this will eventually pay for itself, but you need a lot of people. There's really no fees on fire and rescue and police administration. There's no fees for parks and recreation and transport. You can get a lot of money, but you also need a lot of people. We only have a little over 3,000. That's nothing. So let's change that. Let's start over here on this end. 50 units. And of course, we're going to make it like a grid. Everything usually goes in grids. Let's see if we can't go 30. Off. There you go. Usually, if it's a little like crooked or something, and the tiles don't match up like if I'm showing it right now, then you're locking into somewhere else. It's telling me 30.01. I don't want 30.01. I want just 30. Perfect 30s. At a 90-degree angle, straight grid.
I bought a workhorse.
There we go. Move this little area.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a bunch of low housing residentials right here in the middle.
The B lane.
And they are already coming in.
Okay. Oh, my purchase.
Now, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to all be this straight like this. Some of them are going to branch off like this, and that is perfectly fine. And we're going to create one district for here. And of course, we'll increase it. The more we have to increase the area. We're going to get one really big area right here. All these houses I had made in the first place. Oops. So this one has most of our residents, this one is starting to get residents, and this one has a lot of residents in the condensed area.
Just do my brother.
I'm not really seeing traffic jams, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Now, what I would like to do is add a medium road here.
See, this is mirrored night. You want to see her?
50. Perfect. We're gonna add low residential here again. Square that off. I'm actually gonna add some low rent housing over on this end.
She's in front of Valentine's Day.
That should be just about right. That is a lot of households. And of course, with that many households, it's gonna obviously cause some jams here. We're gonna put more regular housing on the edge here, square it off. What I wanted to do, I know it's gonna be a little noisy for these people, but it'll be alright. I'm gonna put some commercial there, some officing over on this end. It's going to create a lot of jobs in a close area.
Where are you at, Night? Yeah, we have to in a minute.
Got a lot more residents now just because of this low rent housing. Your energy demands are... They just stopped being good. I'm going to do another windmill because like I said, those work fantastic. I just branched them off from each other, so it's less wires.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I feel so bad.
Ooh, bad traffic jams because everyone's coming in from that way. Yep, but everyone's moving in, so we'll give them time. We're not gonna mess with it right this moment.
I'm actually gonna probably ride my horse lazy river. I'm gonna start a fun drive.
That is
Or should I ride my Norfolk?
people are sick, like usual. Patrolling.
Norfolk is the... Come here, Blueberry.
So we have increased, I think it was double the amount. Where were we here? Well, we're almost about double the amount of housing. That is a very large amount of people. Now listen, don't be intimidated by this, because, you know, it does say, you know, it's lower rent. It's obviously a lot more people, you know, and you do get less income from it. And you can see small homes is something that people don't like. But that's how you bring people in. And if we actually look at residents, you see children, teens, adults, seniors, uneducated, poorly educated. Over time, these people are going to have kids, the children, and we need to send them to school. And now those kids who get educated and stuff from within the town, they're going to go buy their own nice houses because they can actually afford it, versus their parents. I mean, this is the reality. Who are poor. You can see the average wealth is poor. They don't have that much money, and that's why they got this place. You know, we're trying to provide them a better life, especially for their kids. You know, if people can afford the rent, they can afford to send their kids to school and everything. That's what we're trying to do for them, so that their kids can make our city a much better. We got a lot of people who are wanting to actually go to high school, which is fantastic. Capacity for the elementary is starting to go down. And we're gonna move all our industrial to this other side. Because what we want to do is want to provide a clear access to the factories for people who actually work at them. But we also want to provide a clear area for everything to be exported, imported, materials and such. And we don't want to interfere with all of these guys. So that's why we're keeping this highway split here, and that's why we're putting the industrial over here. Eventually, a great idea is to put a bus from multiple places to go there so that everyone can pretty much carpool together in large amounts and we make extra money. But we also want to reduce the traffic because, you know, we don't want everyone going back and forth here because it will be a lot of people eventually. And we're just keeping the factories over here. So we're going to start off at... We're actually going to start off down here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go here. We're going to say this is relatively straight-ish. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Do a double highway. I'm going to curve it. So this is to go in.
My nephew is playing in the living room for something.
Do another curve. Don't necessarily need to keep these really close together like it is over here. It's actually kind of worse. The more space you have. So this is a much smaller section versus this, which is double the length. And if there is any type of like traffic jams or something here, it's going to allow more people to go and stay in this section and not clog up the interstate. We don't want to clog up anything. We want to make sure everything's straight. So we're going to go, we're going to do 50 units here. We're going to let the factories be as big as they want. You know, there's no limit to that. And I'm going to stop it there because I want to keep room in case we got to do intersections and such. Obviously, we can move in a bit this way, but I don't want to interfere with the train track too much because it is an access point right here. And later on, if there is that much materials that have to go in and out, then a train station right here, right next to the factories, or maybe moving it over here, would be a fantastic way. And there's also cargo here. You know, because we don't want to have the roads having too much. That's what we're trying to reduce. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all these factories within this area here. It's not gonna hurt anybody. There's never gonna be residential over here. We don't want that. So I forget about this sometimes. You have to connect whenever you go through interstates. Power and hold on. Let me get it. Good, there we go. Wow, that freaking railway's messing me up. Oh, there we go, perfect. And electricity, because there is no power poles or anything on the highway. Now, in City Skylines 2 versus 1, they do build them into the roads now, which is why I'm bringing that up. There is pipes, there is power capacities, low voltage, high voltage. It does make a difference. If there is a high demand, right, if we look here, it's gonna say 80 versus 400. So 80 is a lot, to be fair. But if for some reason we are above 80, then we need to get the big power lines and transfer power that way. And that is actually very important.
What?
If there's really any doubt of it happening, because it's just a large amount of energy. If we go to our energy, then what we're seeing is we're at 20. And these were mostly for all of this. I would have to double this amount for if the power was over here instead of over here, just for the power to come through.
I'm getting out my
You know?
house.
Even then, you probably need more than that. We're gonna move these factories on this road. This is not ideal because factories do over time progress, you know, and they level up and they get cleaner and stuff. You want clean factories, but it's just this is where we have the area right now. We're keeping the farming. We're gonna keep the farming here. It looks nice. There's a road behind it, and there's no pollution from it besides noise pollution. That's not a big deal. We're probably going to add a tree line and cut it off right here to the railroads and keep this side residential and all that. And we're going to keep this side all the factories. You know, just factories. Just factories. So important. Okay, we got to get mail. Mail is very important, especially for factories. Factories tend to get their mail more than they email and such. And we should keep, let's see, this is going to be probably about 30,000 to keep maintaining. We'll keep it more in a downtown area. See the wages. No, just doubled it. It's like 18,000. That's not awful.
The knight's trying to get you.
Alright. Now, let's add some mailboxes so people can actually store it. There's a lot of people over here. You know, I want to make sure that this area can actually get their mail taken. There is a decent amount of people over here, and I'll just keep it on the... Well, I can't keep it on the edge here, but I can put it right next to the park and stuff. And another important part that they need is right here in the factories. Want to make sure everyone gets their mail. Communications, people love their communications on so many levels. It does need road access. And I'm not gonna really put that right there. We go to communications and I actually get a tower. We can get intersections later. But if I get the tower, it tends to be a lot better. You know. So for these, the upkeep is pretty much accurate. Because there is no employees for these. So this is very small, and this is two and a half times more expensive to maintain, but it is a very large area. I won't have to do these little ones for a long time, and it also has a much bigger network capacity. I don't need to upgrade or anything. I don't need to make multiples. If you put these, okay, don't worry about these, because if I do these, you got 1, you got 2, 3, 4, 5 for everyone to be happy, and that's you know, that's more than just doing this. So definitely have, as soon as possible, a telecom tower, and just have that happen, you know. And since there's no residents or workers for this, oh, there is for this one, isn't there? I stand corrected. That is expensive. No. Regardless, if I... It must be the radio mast that doesn't have the employees. Regardless, if I put this one here and this one here, you know, and I gotta put one over here, here, it's eventually just gonna add up to this one. Okay, so... And when you do expand, like over here and such, you have to put one here, 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 here. It's not worth it.
What is it? Just came in here, grabbed a goldfish, looked at me in the
I don't remember this being here though. I don't remember them having it.
Does anyone else have their toes out besides Serenity?
Now let's look at noise.
No.
Yeah, not too bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not too
Probably
bad.
like the toes.
Ground. It's mostly over here now. Wind, not worried about it. Water, might get a little bit of water pollution here. I don't know, but we don't have water and sewage in town. We export it. Oh, people really need ambulances here.
Always seamless.
So that's 47,000. We don't have all the employees yet.
It's just in my...
Let's see. So we're spending 65,000 on communications, which kind of sucks. At the same time, though, you want to make sure people have these services, because if you don't, they actually get really low. Traffic, everybody's gonna go through traffic, unreliable health coverage, need a hospital. But first, before you get a hospital, you need a lot of people, because the hospital will pay for itself. That is a fact. Unemployment 6.2, not ideal. Very not ideal, but people are still wanting to move in. Let's see, so they're all relatively the same. You know, there's workplaces, there's a lot of jobs. Taxes are fantastic. everyone's really happy and there's still unoccupied buildings.
Watch out, there's a building on the other side of that rock.
Everyone's actually getting pretty good over here with their money, which is great. Obviously, the small homes are ideal for them, but these small homes take up a ginormous amount of space, which I really don't like. Farmhouses, mixed housing, medium, medium, low,
He's
low.
trying to be low.
If we do an expansion, not by the waters, I don't really need water. This could be all residential and a very large point, might I add,
In my inventory.
for almost 600,000.
I have a
Okay,
habit
now
of
we have all the
connecting
employees.
pieces.
Fantastic. I don't want to go too close to these guys. They're very loud. I would like to redo the commercial sometime. Gotta add. Listen, if their taxes are low, just do this. You'll get it back one way or another.
Just going off that cliff unless you want to fall.
We do have a lot of traffic jams going on here. Everyone's probably trying to go to work. We've got 230, 40 almost thousand coming in. So I would say
It wouldn't have been
a
any
bus
better
depot
than
does
me.
great. A lot of taxis.
We see a clover.
Now, I'm going to keep this side open for services such as this.
Come here. Come here.
Now, I don't want to keep it right on this road,
No.
but I will keep it over here.
Who's gonna be in his nose?
This is so expensive. The wages are so high. So we just went like 100,000 low, and we got to make that up. Obviously, we have to make that up. So obviously, people are going in and out. I do want to make it so they can go over the interstate without having, you know, if they want to go here and here, then I want to make it possible. So I'm going to make a bridge from here to here, and then I'm going to go down. That is up. I want to go down. Right there. Right there. No, obviously nothing's gonna be perfect. I'm not no professional. I also can't remember everything, obviously by the telecom tower.
You're smart,
But I am running out of time today, so we can pick this up later, but it looks like traffic's doing a lot better with all these trucks and such. Definitely doing a lot better. We'll probably smooth this out to a nice round later, and we'll fix up this intersection area and probably push it down. This is very close. Not the best idea. Definitely gonna add some more housing, try to get to 10, 20,000 people, and we'll add a hospital in the central area. We want to make sure it pays for itself. A lot of people want to get educated, which I'm very happy about. Obviously, the high school has the most going on. And just to make sure, we're going to add an extension wing right there. That's 100 students. I know that, you know, it says 600, but we're not going to be able to get everyone and pay it off. So as you can tell, you know, it really pays for itself. Transportation, not paying for itself right now. What we're going to do, we're going to put a bus stop. We're just going to let everyone walk to this central area. That's a good area. We'll put another one here, right here, and right here, and I'm putting the more expensive ones just because I want them comfortable. I don't care if it costs more. You know, you want to keep people happy. Because when people aren't happy, that's when you gotta, you know,
Alright.
that's when you gotta increase this little guy right here. Right? You don't want people sad. That's what causes crimes. Now, before I finish, I'm going to actually connect these buses. So we're gonna have 1, 2. Oh, wait. Gotta put one at the factories. Gotta get people there somehow. 1, 2, 3,
That should work now.
and back. Now, I would have put it like here. It might still be optional. Let's actually do that. We're gonna do that. Now, it's not really gonna hurt too much. It more likely will just improve it. As a matter of fact, we can probably go out of town with it. Now, we're actually gonna check that.
Watch out for the gator.
Buses. I'm gonna just put all the buses here. Just
We're going
put them
into
all out
gator
there.
territory.
We're gonna make a ticket price of 10, because why not? It will give us some time. It is day and night.
That's why I said to bring up.
I decided to do this everywhere because if someone from over here wants to end up over here in this area through the bus, then they can. Now, obviously, that's kind of stupid for this area, but we'll go down here, then we go back up, we go out of town, people go out of town. With 19 buses going back and forth, I mean, we still pay for them no matter what. These buses are paid for. You might as well use them. So this is down here. There's a few passengers going here. They're waiting. They're starting to stack up, especially up here. Where is that at? That is, wow. Right here. There's a lot of people who want to go through here.
I love
Obviously, not refined. It's still working on it. A lot of traffic jams going on here, which is why I wanted the buses.
Listen here.
Let's see
We're
here.
gonna talk about burn up.
All right, we'll continue this. We'll continue this
That gator water.
later. I definitely got some planning to do, obviously, but over time, this will improve.